everyone, and thank you for joining me on day 6 of my speed writing adventure. And today's actually an important day because I did my 5 days of speed writing. And if you've been following along, I actually did start on a Sunday, not a Monday. And it's so weird. I've just gotten so used to doing 5 days a week for 5 minutes that when I hit Friday, I'm like, oh, I just can't have a 6. It's going to mess up my numbers and the rhythm. There's this magic to 5 and 5. So I took Friday, Saturday, Sunday off so that today could be day 6 because it just was not my system. I write 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And I messed it up by writing on January 1st, but it felt like that was just auspicious to do that. So I sat down to write this morning, and I realized I had forgotten to use a technique I normally use when I speed write, which is to highlight where I left off, and so that when I come back to my next 5-minute speed writing episode, I know exactly where to go. And I don't have to spend a minute getting my head back into the game, or even 30 seconds getting my head back into where I left off. So what I did today is when I was done writing, when the timer went off, I literally, left part of a sentence there and put ... And I highlighted it because as I go on, I start adding sections, and I can write in different sections of a chapter, even the entire book. I will jump around. And so I leave this in every chapter where I write where I last left off so I can find it. I can just go straight to it. It's bright yellow or bright teal or bright pink or whatever it is. I actually can use different colors. As I go along, I'll start adding different colors for different meanings. And so tomorrow when I sit down, I have my beginning of a sentence already started. I'm just going to pick up where I left off, and I'm going to write for 5 minutes. And last week, when it was my first week, I had so much to do and so much to download. It was just super exciting. And so I didn't need the ... to remember where to pick up. But this week, after taking actual 3 days off, which I normally just take 2, but I'm now on my proper Monday to Friday writing schedule. And so I needed that, where did I leave off? And so I lost a minute or two just like getting reoriented. And the other thing I did today that I often will do, and it's very helpful, is if as I'm writing, or at the beginning or the ending of the session, but today what happened, as I was writing, I realized, oh, there are 2 or 3 other subsections to this part of the book that I want to make sure I put in here. And so I literally just created the section headers so that when I come back on a different day, I may have forgotten, this is the first time I'm writing it all down, that, oh yeah, there's this and there's that. And the section headers, may or may not, they may change. I may move these sections to different parts of the book, but because it's organized and as an idea comes to me, at the very least, I will write out the section header as a first or second or third level heading. And sometimes I, bold that in a color. And, but then, I'm not losing the ideas. And again, I just wrote for 5 minutes, but I added 3 new section headers, 3 of which I don't think I've ever thought of before. And so I was just really excited to, oh yes, this is also how I'm writing about how my theory evolved. I'm like, yes, it was my supervision in my own clinical practice, and even just being trained in collaborative and postmodern approaches. Why did that lead to creating this framework, or how did that do that? So these are ideas, I'm sure they've run through my head at one point before in the past, but as I was writing, it became clear this is the structure for the section, and I just put those down. It'll take me a week or 2 to fill out just these sections, but at least they are there, and I don't lose the good idea that I had. So that is my tip for writing today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.